Okay, so here we are with the templates stuck to the vehicle, and it does help if you've got these fenders still off that you can stick it on, get yourself heaps of sticky tape. The best point of reference that I found was this corner point here that lines up with the corner of the light assembly, but you will go down and you'll run your finger along and you'll see that that's the edge of the bumper. You can see that coming out there. They are fairly square, I believe. I don't know if I'm going to tell you if that's exact. A bit disappointed with ARB here. They only give you one copy of this. It's A3 size paper. So take it and make yourself a few copies. You are going to need it. You might tear a few, whatever. I haven't done that yet, but I've got about half a dozen copies as backups. And you're certainly going to need two anyway, so one for each side. Disappointing that they don't supply you one for this side, then one for the passenger side. What you actually get is the template for the right hand side, the driver's side. You need to turn that and flip it over and use that for the passenger side. So obviously you can't see through paper, so what I did was just got myself some black marking texture and just mark this up so I could see the points that I needed to be able to see through there, and mark that up and stuck it on. So what we need to do now is go ahead, get the black texture and mark along those lines. Now there is a line there which you can see just here, and it says that the bottom of the bumper here has to be 223mm from that point. So keep in mind I am doing this one-handed, but I have got both of those sides at the 223mm. Okay, so that's both of our lines marked up. Now on the instruction sheet it does just use masking tape, so you can just mark up some masking tape. I'm happy enough to mark the panel work there and remove that once the job is done. I'm pretty happy that both of those look fairly even. When I stand at the front and have a look, they look pretty close to me. I've taken some quick measurements and they look reasonably close. Once you fix the indicators to the bar, those tabs really don't hold anything. A little bit of plastic coming through, grabbing hold of that tab. This one's not much better, but probably a slight improvement on the other side. If I just balance that like that, you see these just, look at that. That is a shit design. You have to do something with that, but not impressed with that at all. Hopefully you can hear that in my voice. Not impressed at all. This is the first one I fitted. You can see that there, there's movement in that, and this is meant to be forward driving. It's like a Bullbar, so it's meant to be rugged. Why these weren't fitted before you get the bar, I don't know. And secondly, why they have such a shit mechanism for attaching these to the bar itself is absolutely beyond me. This is the new one with the new tabs, so I've swapped them around, and as you can see, that is rigid. That's moving the whole bar there. Where the other one has now fallen out while I've been working on this one. So I'd say don't follow the instructions, go arse about, flip those tabs, put them in through the back, hold the lens on and then screw through the front, and that seems to be a lot more solid. It's going to be a pain in the backside to get them out, but at least they're not going to fall out. But for now, the next step is to pull off this mounting bracket which held the bumper to the top section of the car there. You can see there, that's the main bracket that was in the middle that we took bolts out originally. So there's just a couple of bolts in this, because what we need to do is cut a section of this out, and then we're going to reuse this section later on to remount this piece of the bumper. We're just about ready to cut the bumper, and I just want to do a test cut with the angle grinder because I'm not sure whether I'm going to use this or the jigsaw. So I'm going to just go to the centre of the bar, the bumper, and I'll just give it a quick cut and just see what it looks like. Now that seems to work reasonably well as far as straight cuts, keeping in mind that we've got to do angle. So I'm just going to go and grab the jigsaw and just see what that looks like and how well that handles the material. What do you think about that, Stephen?
Yeah, I'd go that way. Better cuts.
Definitely tidier, isn't it? So this is the jigsaw and this is the grinder, and I think we have a winner. Certainly a finer cut, and I'm going to be able to turn that as well. Jigsaw it is. So that's roughly what it looks like. We'll see what happens. I'll cut the other side too, eh?
Well, I was going to ask you, do you want to wreck both sides?
I want to have a matched pair. So what we've done is just refit. What do they call these, Stephen?
Metal bits.
Okay, we've refit these metal bits back here that was originally holding onto the bumper. This was the whole bracket that went right across the front here, which you've cut down. So they get fit back on. Now what we're going to do is grab our cut sections of bumper. I'm still in tears with that one, and we're going to fit that there like that. And as you can see, I've actually cut a lot less than I needed. Left myself quite a bit of space there. I'm going to refit this, see what it looks like, maybe grab the bumper, the bull bar, put it up, and see how much we actually have to cut away. We're back to just fitting these parts of the cut down bumper back on the front of the car here. One part, you've got to clip this into the white clips that's up on this side. You'll clip this part of the bumper into this bracket here, leave this loose so you can adjust it, and that'll make it easier to get a good fit. But what I did miss is just near your light here, there's like a locating lug, I suppose you call it, or a support for that part of the bumper. Make sure that part of the bumper is on top of that, not under that, which is where I was trying to sit it, and it just wasn't fitting up flush against the light. So get your mount here, these plastic tabs, which are absolutely ridiculous, stupidest thing ever. I'm going to be up for a new one on this side. On top of this piece of plastic here, this location tab, and then the final piece of that tab just fits in here. Again, keep these a little bit loose. I've tightened that one up. Keep these loose so you can move it around and get a good fit. Now also, before you try and fit that those cut pieces of bumper, come in here and pop out this a good sound effect. Pop out this screw plug, which is just up inside the fender here, and then you can reseat that once you've actually got the bumper fit back on. When you're going to fit these front mounting brackets, what Stephen has just found is there's a wire running down there, and that needs to unclip, and it looks like that's going to go in possibly into the top of this bracket here.
I think so.
Under the metal, I guess, supports for the inner wheel guard.
Yeah, that would.
There's a couple of bolts there. I'll show you on this side because they're still mounted. But just here, this is the support for the wheel arch, I suppose, the plastic wheel arch. So
You're a good helper.
so there's Titan getting involved as always. So just undo the bolt here, bolt there. They're 10 mils. A couple of scrivets in the back of this, another scrivet in there, and then you'll also see there's that headlight wire running down here, which will need to be unclipped, and then we can have a look at getting these brackets mounted up. Unfortunately, all they do is just tell you to mount the brackets as per the picture, and you can't tell shit from that picture, but we have nutted it out and we think we're onto something. To drill into that side piece
Somewhere there.
so that's the smaller bracket on the inboard side, and then that large bracket
On the outside.
on the outboard side, and roughly what they're going to look like. And these big buggers here is going to sit over the front there like that. Tighten. Okay, so we've drilled our hole on the inside. Hopefully you can see that there. And there's our hole. Now what we're going to do is go underneath, and there is a hole at the bottom of the chassis there.
Slip that in.
Just like that. You grab one of these things, and you so clip one of these cage nuts in, reach up, feed it up to the other side of where that bolt is, and then we push the bolt through into that nut, and then you just bend this into place as per the instructions. So, okay, so for drilling this side, I've got this clamp here, which is not sure what size it is, probably about a 20 centimetre or something, I suppose. They do say you need a large G-clamp.
Get a bigger one.
Get a bigger one, yeah, definitely get a bigger one. This was only basically a bee's dick in it to get this to fit. So what I was finding was once I was tightening these bolts up, these bracing pieces were pulling away from the chassis, so not ideal. So we've got that one drilled in, got that stupid arm thing pushed up through the bottom of the chassis, and the bolt done. Took some effort. I will give you the handy hint on the next one that Steve pointed out. Mind you, after about 15 minutes of me working away on it before he told me to try it the other way, which worked.
Think very fast.
Which worked perfectly first time, bastard. Anyway, so this is actually starting to look like something. I don't think we're too far away. I'll swap this G-clamp onto the other side and try and pull that in. Of course, you can see from this side, hopefully, it's a bit dark in there, but this has got plenty of room for me to slide a finger in between that plate and that chassis, so I need to pull that in before I start drilling holes. So once you've drilled all your holes and you need to get these cage nuts up into the bottom of the chassis, you use these
access arms.
There you go, access arms to locate these captive nuts up in the back. And what Steve actually pointed out to me was in the earlier one I had it like that and I was trying to mount it onto the bolt coming in from this side, and what he actually suggested was turn it round, and that actually puts this nut up against the hole and it makes it easier to access. So bend your arm in whichever way you need to do it. You can see these are real easy to be bent, and then you reach up through the bottom of the hole, hold it on the other side of where you've drilled your hole, and you're good to go. Okay, just so you know, this bolt here is just going to use a normal nut, and you can actually just reach through this hole here, hold up on the back and tighten that up. Originally I did do that with a captive nut, but then Steve counted the amount of captive nuts we actually had available, and we quickly discovered that we didn't have enough to do the whole lot. Hello buddy. So captive nuts only for inside here and on the inside there as well. This one here, just a regular nut on the back because you can reach that from here. One of the challenges here is this rear bolt that goes in here. Unfortunately, you're using these arms, locator arms that you see here going in through the bottom. We've only got this little hole to work with. Just this little bastard hole here. Once you get a couple in, because we've done the front ones, we've done the left side, we've done the right side, once you get these in, it gets real tight, which means it's real hard to get the third one up and in. You can see I've barely got room for a finger there. We're sitting here scratching our heads at the moment, thinking about lunch, because I really, right now, have no idea how to get from that point there down to that point there and get that to actually match up. So once I figure it out, happy to show you, but got to figure it out first.